What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 147 of the Chumpcast. We saw Men in Black International this week so that you didn't have to. We also argued about whether or not Mark would do girl version of me, and I review the worst movie of 2019 so far. You can find us on all social media platforms at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 847-920-6107. Thanks to our friends at Family Video for sponsoring the show. If you collect DVDs or Blu-rays, you can get some awesome deals through the chumpcast.com/familyvideo. They have super low prices on new releases, and they're always updating their selection. Looking right now at copies of Into the Spider-Verse, Aquaman, Mary Poppins, and way more, all for under $10. Plus, it helps out the show. You can find our merch at thechumpcast.com. Check out patreon.com/thechumpcast for all sorts of bonus content and more goodies. Enjoy the show. Kind of a weird week.
It's kind of weird. This guy, this Arquillian Brick sitting next to us.
Brick flew in for this episode. You're probably not going to hear a lot from him this week because he's super hungover. I don't know if you can tell just by looking at him, but
dude, that is one hungover Brick.
This is so stupid. Why do we do this every week?
It's the best idea. It's the best thing we've done in a while.
Mark, what's the best thing you did this week? Besides just play hours of Apex and lose money to me constantly. Still waiting on that.
Oh, I had
$5 back.
I had Jenny's ice cream for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
worth
really
the
good.
price of admission.
It was, yeah, it was a $7 double scoop waffle ice cream cone, but it was very much worth it.
Definitely not cheap.
No, it's so good though. Their flavors are just ridiculous, and they're all
the brambleberry, dude,
looking. Out
of this world.
I was about to get the brambleberry,
so
but I
good.
didn't.
I don't know what the fuck a brambleberry is, but it's delicious.
Is that the one with? Does that have the goat cheese in it or no?
I don't think so. No,
one of them has goat cheese.
Yeah, I don't know about goat cheese ice cream, but
it's like cream cheesy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we're just not having a Stanley Cup champion this year. Like they just call it off, and they're like, "We're not going to give this.
Yeah,
we're not going to give the cup to anybody."
I know.
Super weird, man.
Whatever. I mean, what other city would you give it to? You need to give it to an actual city.
I feel like we should give it to a Canadian city.
Yeah.
Everything's backwards because Canada just won their first ever Larry O'Brien NBA title.
Yeah. And that was pretty amazing that that was the first year that coached in the NBA, right?
Nick Nurse. Yeah, he almost botched that pretty bad, but luckily Kawhi Leonard totally bailed him out. Did you see the guy from Rockford, Fred Van Fleet?
I thought
shouting out Rockford.
I thought that was a joke. I thought there was a guy named Rockford who was shouting out, but Barstool just made it about Rockford.
No, he's from Rockford.
Oh,
like
shit.
they set up a mini. They call that big area where they do viewings of games Jurassic Park. They set up like a mini Jurassic Park in Rockford.
Oh, really?
It's kind of cool. I mean, local guy makes good, wins a championship. Not mad about it.
Shit, I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's pretty random. The guy just coming from Rockford. I feel like
everybody comes from somewhere.
I know, but it's Rockford. Rockford is, I can't think of one celebrity or professional athlete other than him now that came from Rockford.
And he'll be forgotten immediately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, he had a great finals. He just, nobody cares. Yeah. Everybody's just mad that it didn't have LeBron, didn't have KD, and everybody got hurt. It's kind of a championship by attrition because two of your three best players get hurt and you lose a championship because of that. I don't know.
I'm just happy Golden State didn't win because that was their fourth straight appearance?
Fifth straight finals. That would have been the third straight win.
Yeah.
So
enough of that shit.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know what they're going to do with the Stanley Cup this year though. Like they're just going to leave it in a vault somewhere.
I guess
they could just bring it back to Chicago. I'd be fine with that.
I know. Hawks have it next year for sure.
not even close.
Yeah,
no way. Did you watch any of the fights that TJ and I went to last week?
Yeah, those were insane, by the way. The one with that girl, the head kick, holy shit.
So Jessica I got kicked into another fucking dimension.
Oh my God. And you just heard the pop when she kicked her.
You didn't really hear anything. It's weird seeing fights live in a big arena. Like this was the United Center. It seats like 30,000 people, right?
Well, you probably didn't hear it because you were in the actual arena.
Sure, but it's odd. It's like really eerily silent when people are fighting. Like there's cheers every now and then, but if they're grappling or something, or if they're just kind of like standing and dodging each other, there's nothing. You could have heard a fucking pin drop when she was on the ground for like 6 minutes.
Did they just take her right out of the ring afterwards, or did she actually get up?
She eventually got up.
Jeez.
But it was real scary. And you could tell there were a lot of people there that have maybe never really paid attention to fights and didn't expect that.
Oh my God.
That kind of happens sometimes when you're kicking each other in the face.
Dude.
It was brutal, man. She caught a shin right to the temple.
What I thought was the most insane, other than that, was the guy. I think it was one of the heavier fights. But the guy's, he basically blew his nose and his eye just swelled up.
So that was Donald Cerrone.
Can you explain why that happens?
He basically had a broken nose.
Okay.
So he was trying to blow his nose, and instead, like, all of the blood went up into his eye socket. It was very gross to see, but he was at least like funny about it afterwards. He was tweeting pictures from the hospital. He treated like a picture of him in some old cartoon prospector who like was missing teeth and shit. Dude. He's a funny guy. I obviously I wish him a speedy recovery. He's probably one of my favorite fighters. He's just Cowboy Cerrone's been out there doing it forever, and he'll take any fight on short notice and just he doesn't care. Yeah,
he mentioned that too in his when Joe Rogan was interviewing him after the fight. He's like, "Yeah, I'm an old timer or whatever, and I should have known that this could have happened because he would have kept fighting if he didn't blow his nose. Technically, you think?
Probably that fight was probably already lost.
Yeah,
it's just rough to see. I wish him speedy recovery. He's the guy that's always out there like wakeboarding and just drinking Budweiser and riding bulls and shit. He's that guy. He's the stereotypical testosterone, like adrenaline fueled guy.
Jeez.
I don't know. He's the best though. Sucks to see him go out like that. I did update the Chump board. I made it a little easier for us to get to this stuff.
Boy, am I impressive.
Nice. I just want to give myself a pat on the back for that.
Nice.
We are taking submissions. I uploaded the Seth Rogen laugh and it's not here yet, and it's kind of pissing me off.
Dude, what the you need that.
I know.
Are you sure you uploaded it?
I'm 100% sure. But if anybody out there, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
This is going to be every time you make a terrible joke.
Yes.
A fake laugh in
Which
there.
happens a lot, so I'm pumped.
We are taking submissions for good board drops, though. So if you got a good idea, send it to me. Oh, look, Brick is here in the middle of us, but also in the chat somehow.
Maybe he's texting under this blanket here.
Could be. He's super dehydrated right now. Looks like he should really get some water. All right. Let's do some news, I guess. I just said that, and now I don't have the news drop, so that's fun.
News to us.
There we go. Boop. I guess we can kind of talk E3, even though we are not qualified to talk E3. You've been Mr. Gamer this week.
I actually watched a lot of, at work, I watched a lot of the like hour-long whatever you want to call them, panels or conferences or whatever you want to call it. And obviously the big one that came out was that Keanu Reeves will be appearing in Cyberpunk 2077.
I've been waiting for Cyberpunk forever. Like, I absolutely need that. They pushed this back like forever now, and it kind of sucks. But I was thinking it was going to come out this year. Obviously, we're not there yet. It's coming out next May, I think. Mm-hmm. But I've been waiting for this game forever, and now they added Keanu Reeves. Like, who on the planet is hotter than Keanu right now?
Nobody.
We just got John Wick. He's going to be in Toy Story 4, which, by the way, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes early reviews. Somebody's going to go in and fuck that up for sure.
Wait, what? John Wick 3 is 100%?
No. Toy Story 4 has 100%.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we're talking critical reviews, and critics kind of bow down for Pixar. So, I don't know.
How does Toy Story 4 have 100%?
What do you mean?
I would just assume that this being the fourth installment of the franchise, that it would get some
This
backlash,
is not Fast and Furious, though.
Yeah.
Like, they take their time with these. They write a good story. It's Pixar instead of whoever the fuck is making Fast and Furious movies now.
It's got to be good then.
We'll see. Obviously, the big news, though, was breathtaking Keanu Reeves, calling that guy breathtaking in the stands. Yeah, that was amazing. And
you're breathtaking.
I thought we were going to have like our next million view YouTube video. Yeah. When we were searching for the Seth Rogen laugh, and you can find 10 hours straight of pretty much anything ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So there's a 10 hours of Seth Rogen laughing. I thought, okay, we'll make 10 hours of Keanu Reeves telling people they're breathtaking, and we'll get 1 million hits, and somebody already did it.
Obviously.
So don't click on that. But it was a good idea. What did you think about this weird knockoff Avengers thing that we're getting from Square Enix?
I think it looks absolutely terrible.
I think this is kind of like the Sonic the Hedgehog thing where you saw the trailer and there's like, all right, we should probably redesign this because everybody hates it.
Their character designs look terrible.
I don't know what they were going for. It's like this weird uncanny valley thing where nothing looks quite right.
Yeah.
I'm really confused by it. The story looks cool. It's kind of, they call it A-Day, like they get framed for something, I guess, and Captain America's already dead in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Obviously, I'm going to play this, especially if it plays anything like Spider-Man did, which is probably a hard sell. It really looks a lot like Lego Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play that at all?
I don't think it looks like Lego Marvel.
I mean, it looks like the gameplay is similar to Lego Marvel. Does that make sense?
No, but
you're like tag teaming it. I don't know. It would make more sense if you played the game. The game's awesome.
You could like go back and forth between the Hulk and different characters, like
it
while
seems
things
that
are
way.
happening.
Like you'll pair off, and I don't know, maybe. Otherwise, I don't know what they're doing. But
and what is this gaming company that's coming out with it? What other titles have they released?
Final Fantasy?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the Final Fantasy people.
Oh, shit.
I think.
I had no idea. Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, we're woefully underqualified to be talking about video games right now. So Brick told us he couldn't do the episode, and now he's in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, Brick, how's it going?
The other thing I want to talk about, did you see Google is putting out like a console, I guess, Google Stadia. I don't understand how this is going to work. I think it's kind of like, you know how I got that beta test for Google Stream?
Yeah.
It was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you could just stream it online. You didn't have to have a console or anything, just an internet connection, and you streamed it through Google Chrome, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It worked fairly well. I think that might have been a test run for this. It's like $130. They have this weird controller that kind of looks like a Xbox controller and a PS4 controller had a baby. I don't know. It seems like, like NVIDIA tried to get into this market and failed miserably with the Shield.
But will everything already be like uploaded to the cloud through Chrome or something? Like, do you have to actually download things when you buy them now?
No, it says no download. So I think that's where they're getting the stream thing. Like, I never downloaded anything for Assassin's Creed. So I guess that's their pitch. We also got announcements for PlayStation 5 and whatever they're calling the next Xbox.
Yeah.
Start saving your money now, kids. But the last thing, did you see the theatrical trailer for Halo Infinite?
Besides the teaser that they did, I think last E3, where he's walking with the helmet, holding it or whatever.
No, this one's like a guy is stranded in space.
No,
Master Chief shows up. It looks awesome. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Halo. Like, I think
a lot of gamers will.
I know, even though the last couple they put out have been subpar, and the Master Chief collection was broken immediately when I bought it. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Did you see anything else from E3?
The new Doom is coming out. That looks cool.
Doom Eternal
actually looks cool.
I haven't played a Doom game probably since the first one.
Me too.
So as long as they still have God mode, I'm good with it.
Well, they came out with one on the Switch, but this one that they're rolling out looks awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a correspondent. We tried to get a couple guys in here this week that would have known better than us, but Will is out running a color run or something. I don't know. Weird things happen when you try to impress a girl. So,
is he with the girl?
That's what he told me. I don't know.
Nice.
Let's talk about some movie trailers, though.
Nice.
Elsa is going all Sub-Zero in this Frozen 2 trailer. It's pretty much an extended version of what we got before. I don't know, like she's maybe anti-hero now. She starts freezing people that don't need to be frozen. I have no idea what's going on in this, but I know that I'm going to have to see this the day it comes out because Erica's going to make me.
What happened in the first one? I legitimately forgot what happened in the first one.
Elsa can freeze people. And they had her parents had her locked away forever, and then she got out.
Was there something with her sister being evil? Or
her sister tries to track her down.
Oh, okay.
The prince who was trying to marry her is evil.
Okay, yes.
I don't know. It's very weird. We probably just butchered that. We're getting a sequel to The Shining, which is about 45 years overdue, I guess. And
overdue?
This is, well,
I guess you could look at it.
Nobody's really asking for it, but Ewan McGregor is going to play Danny, the little kid from the original. Mm-hmm. They hit all the beats from The Shining with like the twins and the blood in the hallway and the weird carpet in the hotel. So, and here's Johnny, like the hole in the door.
Who is the Jack Nicklaus?
I'm sure it's Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson, yeah.
If Jack Nicklaus is there, we got a weird movie.
I was watching a lot of.
I'm sure he's dead. He died in the first one.
Okay.
Don't you? It's like the iconic scene. He's frozen outside. He's got the big smile on his face.
Yeah. I thought they were doing a complete remake.
No, this is his son. So Stephen King wrote The Shining. He also wrote Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to that. Mm-hmm. They just never made a movie out of it until now.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about it. I've never read it. It's just they made a trailer for it. I don't know. Give me that nostalgia money.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they've been doing lately with everything.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you watch this trailer for the Banana Splits?
No, I didn't.
I had never heard of Banana Splits. Apparently it was a thing in the 60s. It's kind of like, Five Nights at Freddy's?
No.
It's evil Chuck E. Cheese. So Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I
was
know
a video game franchise. It's like a horror franchise where the evil Chuck E. Cheese band starts killing kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is, but it's a movie. And they're...
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know who greenlit this. I guess maybe the rights lapsed for the Banana Splits, but Sci-Fi took it and they're like, we're going to turn this into a horror movie, so I'm here for this. It'll be shitty production value because it's like a TV station that's making it, but...
I'm curious to know if Chuck E. Cheese actually still has the robotic, show that they used to do.
It's been a long time since I've been in a Chuck E. Cheese. And apparently they don't let you in anymore unless you have a kid with you, which is probably like a diddler deterrent.
It's fucked up.
They don't just want kids walking in there. Yeah, there's a Chuck E. Cheese down the street for me, but I don't know. I'm not going to risk that.
Did you hear about the dad who went into Chuck E. Cheese, was drunk, grabbed his kid, and he tried suing Chuck E. Cheese because he got in an accident. I believe his kid survived, but there was injuries and everything, and he tried suing them because he said they knew he was drunk when he just walked in and picked up his kid and left.
Without getting all litigious on you, technically it's not for Chuck E. Cheese because they don't serve alcohol, I don't think.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of dram shop statutes?
No.
It's basically like if you overserve somebody and they go do something stupid, they are partially liable for what happens.
But they weren't serving him beer.
No. So Chuck E. Cheese is totally innocent in this. Yeah. But I could see how an attorney would take that on and be like, I'll work on contingency for you. If you win, sure. But there's your...
Wait, didn't they serve beer, though, back in the day?
Maybe back in the day, but
pepperoni pizza was fire.
No way do they serve beer now. I can't possibly... maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody will tell me otherwise, but I can't imagine they would sell beer anymore.
I feel like
Google that. I'll keep going with this.
All right.
Let's get into the news proper. We talked about this, and apparently this is moving forward now. The creative team behind the 1990s X-Men cartoon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pushing to do a continuation of that for the new Disney Plus streaming service.
Chuck E. Cheese is now serving beer and wine, but according to company reps, they've always served alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like a terrible idea. So if they did serve him, then yeah, they could possibly be on the hook for that.
Damn.
But bad idea all around. Why would you serve? That's like a kid's establishment.
I have no idea.
Why would you serve out? That's so fucking stupid.
Damn, Chuck E. is just getting lit right now.
When's the last time you were in a Chuck E. Cheese?
Fuck, I don't know. When I was like 12, probably. It's been a minute.
Maybe you're a little more mentally well-adjusted than this, but do you have something like in your brain that's etched there from an embarrassing thing you did as a kid that you will never forget? Because I've got a litany of those things. One of them happened at Chuck E. Cheese.
What happened?
So one of the kids who at the time was a very good friend of mine, I thought, showed up and like, it's my birthday.
You thought he was a very good friend. Are you no longer friends after what happened? All right, go.
So
story.
It's just like the stupidest thing, but for some reason my brain holds on to it. But, it's my birthday. Everybody gives me presents. He gives me this. It was like a pencil case holder.
Yeah.
And I had the same one at home.
It was weak.
And I was like, I already have one of these. And he just started bawling, crying right there. Like,
dude, you're a dick, though.
I know, right? This is why my brain is the way that it is. Because every time I do something embarrassing or mean, I just can't ever forget about it. Dude. Also, I have a ton of these, but there was this one time I was kind of like talking to a girl in college before I met Erica, obviously. And I was trying to text my sister to say like, yeah, she's nice, but I don't think like it's going to go anywhere.
You texted her that?
Yes. I was trying to text my sister. Yeah. It was like 1:00 in the morning. And I sent it to the girl instead. And I was like, I'm never going to forget this. Never going to leave my brain.
Oh my God.
You feel secondhand awkward for me right now, don't you?
Dude, that sucks.
It was painful.
Oh, jeez.
Obviously, I never talked to her again.
Oh my God.
Anyways, back to the news. Thank you for humoring me for that little walk down memory lane.
Dude, I can't believe you called out that kid for the pencil case.
Dude, I still feel bad about it to this day. Josh, if you're listening, I'm sorry, man.
He's like, fuck you.
He probably is. Like, I've been in therapy for this for years. All right. Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain are going to star in a Netflix movie adaptation of Ubisoft's The Division. Have you played The Division?
That's Tom Clancy, right?
I think so.
Yeah. No, it is.
So a pandemic attacks New York, killing thousands. So there's survivors that are trying to save the city and some that are going all anarchy and trying to kill everybody and burn the city down. I don't know anything about this. I've never played it, but it's got some big names attached to it. Sounds kind of big budget. It's Netflix. I don't know.
Could be cool. So who's in the division? It's going to be Gyllenhaal, and aren't there like 2 other people?
The only other name I saw attached to this was Jessica Chastain, who we just saw is a weird alien in Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
She's also kind of getting a lot of play right now.
Yeah.
She's going to be in It Chapter 2.
She did Molly's Game. That was a pretty big hit.
Yeah, except we never saw it.
I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah, it was good.
It's about gambling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like underground poker games? Okay. I don't have any thoughts on this. I do have thoughts on Love, Death, and Robots coming back for season 2.
That's sweet.
Do you think this is a new direction for storytelling? Is just like these really quick hits? Is this the YouTube generation anthology? Stories don't have to be connected.
I think you're semi right. I don't think we're gonna see a lot more of this stuff though.
Well, we got Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Anything that's short form storytelling, I think is pretty hot right now, just because everybody's attention span is so short.
I think what they have with Love, Death, and Robots is the fact that all the animations are different.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So if you're doing it as just a live action,
God, Remy's coming.
Oh, there comes
Remy. He's going to attack Brick.
Remy, what are you doing?
He's going to attack Brick. Oh God, Brick's so dehydrated.
No, I think the big thing is that we were getting different animations for every episode. So that keeps you a little bit more engaged and
keeps
interested.
It fresh.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing though. Is if you're watching a show and you're really dedicated to it, like say Game of Thrones, for example, and you watch a really shitty episode, you can just put it down and be like, nope, I'm done with this. Yeah. I mean, nobody did that with Game of Thrones. Everybody wanted to know how it ended, but you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that would have happened early on, it's easier storytelling, I should say.
Yeah.
We will reportedly know, quote unquote, the 6 villains that are going to appear in the Matt Reeves version of the Batman with Robert Pattinson. Let me know if this list does anything for you. Firefly, who I only know from the video games.
Yeah, Garfield Lins. He's
fucking dork.
He's a dude ass that has a wing jetpack, and he's a big pyromaniac basically. So he has a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Flame bombs, all that shit. He's actually been in the comics since like the 50s. So he's been a long-standing villain of Batman's that has appeared multiple times, and he's been in a couple other runs. But I'm actually interested to see what they do with that. It could be cool. It's kind of like a Vulture type thing, Yeah,
it seems like they're going to do kind of the Sinister Six, where they kind of all team up to try and get Batman. Mm-hmm. We're also going to have the Riddler. Cast these on the fly if you can. Who's going to be the Riddler?
Fuck.
Seth Rogen.
Dude, you can't. Seth Rogen would be good.
God, I need to laugh now. I can't get to the board fast enough.
Dude.
So stupid. Mad Hatter. Yeah, who cares? Mad Hatter's not really a good villain.
We need Brick here for this.
I know. He's the king of just casting shit on the fly with terrible ideas. All of these are just going to be played by The Rock, by the way. Even Catwoman, who is apparently going to be in it. There's got to be a good Catwoman out there. Like
everyone's saying Vanessa Hudgens. Since you have like the young Pattinson, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
No idea.
What about like Selena Gomez?
I like what's her name from Doom Patrol.
Oh, I don't know her name, but she is really good.
Yeah,
I know she's got the multiple personalities.
Yep,
she's a really good actress. She's in
Crazy Jane. What's her name?
Jane. Yeah,
Jane.
I don't
Crazy
know.
Jane.
She's in Jane the Virgin apparently, which Erica watches religiously. So she's got some star power, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. The other one we're going to see in this is the Penguin, which is probably just going to be Josh Gad, because that's what everybody keeps saying. I don't know. He's short and kind of chubby.
Mad Hatter. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mad Hatter. I have no idea
who
that could be.
It's definitely The Rock.
You could get The Rock in a top hat. Yeah.
Honestly, we could probably just cast this from people who have already played these roles. Like, bring Jim Carrey back to be the Riddler. Who cares? Give me Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Why not? Dude, what else is he doing?
Wouldn't be a bad thing getting Jim Carrey in there.
Plus, Danny DeVito is so different now than he was then. He was like a serious actor. Or tried serious. He was in Twins. I don't know.
Dude, I love those guys that do all of the like the photoshops and make them look really good. Like when Robert Pattinson came out as Batman, like some guy literally made it look like he was wearing the suit, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody took Andy Serkis and made him the Penguin, and it looked fucking sick. He actually could be a Mad Hatter too.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but he'd have to shave. Doesn't he always have a beard?
I guess, but hold on, let me see.
Because none of these characters would have a beard, right? It doesn't really matter.
I'm just saying, I would like to see him as a villain again.
Okay. I mean, he's a hell of an actor, obviously, but as long as it's not all mocap, just put him out there and let him do something. Yeah. Then he would be another person that went from Marvel to DC. He was Ulysses Claw in Black Panther and what was it? Age of Ultron. There we go.
You just got to give him that nose, that fake nose.
So I guess he does look fine with a beard. Yeah. What's the name of the guy that makes all of those? Because it's usually the same guy that's doing this imagining some guy on Deviant Art.
I mean, this one's cool too.
Yeah, I could see that. He does have the nose for it. You really just have to have kind of an evil smile, right? Mm-hmm. Which he can totally pull off. Okay, last bit of news, and this just came out today, so I didn't send this to you. I want to get your reaction. Rumor has it that Mark Hamill is going to play the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So there was a picture a long time ago of James Gunn and Mark Hamill like having breakfast. Apparently they live down the street from each other. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is just a rumor, but apparently he would play the creator who made Rocket Raccoon, and he wants his little trash panda back.
Is there any comic relation to that?
I don't know. If there is, I haven't read it.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever heard the origin story for Rocket Raccoon. I mean, why not? It's Mark Hamill. He's pretty big right now.
I'd be in for it. I mean, Guardians 3? Mm-hmm. That was with Eagle the Living Planet, right?
No, that was Guardians 2.
3 was with...
There was no 3. This is going to be 3.
Okay, this will be 3.
Yes.
Why did I think there was a third?
Because they show up in all the different movies.
Yeah. I think no matter what, if Mark Hamill's in it, we'll automatically probably like it better than the second one.
You like Mark Hamill's laugh? It's his Joker laugh, actually.
Are we going to see Chucky, by the way? It's Mark Hamill's Chucky.
I think, I would definitely rather see Toy Story because Chucky's probably going to be bad.
I might see both.
I pulled a double this week. I mean, you get 3 movies a week. You might as well.
Yeah, are you going to talk about that shitty-ass movie that you thought was going to be great?
I'm your so recommendation pissed, man.
That's not.
I'm so pissed. I'm going to recommend that people don't go see it.
Okay.
So mad.
Oh, jeez.
Best.
We the best!
Worst.
The worst! He's the worst person in the world. Huge skank. Terrible, but thank you.
All right, Mark, who's your best man alive?
All right, let me pull this story real quick. I had it. All right, so this guy, Zach McGuire, basically came into his kitchen and caught a burglar, but the way he did it was just the best way possible. He had a rude awakening last week when he discovered an intruder in his house. He then says, I was in here on my bed on the phone. My aunt lives upstairs. My grandma has a key. McGuire then said he heard noises of a stranger, went downstairs. And he said, I started hearing the same voice, and I was like, somebody's in there talking to themselves. And he realized he didn't recognize the voice. So he went downstairs, and it turned out to be a lady was nuking his butter. So he goes on to say, I came flying here into the kitchen, and she's standing right there in front of the microwave, getting ready to nuke my butter. And I told her, she butter not.
Oh, my God, dude.
And then,
what does any of this story mean?
And then he ordered the woman to sit on the floor and he called the police.
So you're saying she was going to microwave some butter?
Yeah, she was definitely on meth or something. She was cracked out.
But the guy is drunk.
She better not.
Oh my God, man. Wow. That is the cheesiest fucking thing I've ever heard. First of all, how do we know any of this is true? Like, where is this story coming from? Is this like AP?
It's on, hold on.
This sounds like an Onion story.
It's ABC 13 News. This is
It's got to be in Florida, right?
Virginia.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is a great story.
I'm mad that you...
So shout out to this guy, Zach McGuire.
Do you think
Virginia.
That you would have the wherewithal if someone was in your house to pull out like a badass line like that?
Dude. Maybe he was like standing there for a while and she had no idea he was behind her and just was thinking about it like, all right, I got to say something.
How long do you think it took him to think of that line?
Maybe it was also his accent. So he's like, you're butter not. And then he's just like, oh, it's kind of funny.
That's like the Max Muncy thing from last weekend. Like, that probably didn't happen. Did you hear about this?
What?
So Madison Bumgarner is like, everybody knows he's a red ass pitcher for the Giants. Mm-hmm. Max Muncy crushes a home run off of him, hits it into the bay, and they start jawing at each other because Madison Bumgarner is kind of a dickhead. Mm-hmm. And they're yelling back and forth. And a reporter after the game asks Max Muncy what he was saying. And he said, well, Madison said, don't watch your ball, run around the bases. Like, tell him to hurry up.
Yeah.
He goes, well, if you want me to watch the ball, you can go get it out of the ocean. Because he hit it into the fucking bay.
Yeah.
It's a great line, don't get me wrong. But I think there's no way he said that in the moment. I think that he had time to think about it.
Yeah, and
then at the end of the game,
story better.
Yeah, so impromptu best man alive, Max Muncy. It's still a good line. All right, my best man alive is someone who's probably like us, but just took something a little bit further. I'm guessing you've played with the Snapchat gender swap filter just to see how pretty you would be.
Oh, this was going to be my other one. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you want to see like, I'd do me. You want to go a little Buffalo Bill.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Dude, look at this creep sticking his head through the... God, I wish everybody else could see my
Such
dog
a
sticking
creepy
his head.
dog.
He really is. Anyway, so this guy is in Seattle. His name's Ethan. He's 20 years old. And apparently one of his friends was telling him the story of the time that she was like, attacked by an older man. So he gets pissed off and he decides he's going to do a little catfishing. Mm-hmm. So he creates this profile for a girl named... Shit, I lost the name. It was like Esther or some old lady name that would never be real.
Cindy.
No, it was like some old lady name like Gertrude or some shit.
Okay.
So anyways, on Tinder, you have to be 19 to create a profile, apparently. Mm-hmm. So he took this off of Tinder and onto Kik, which is just another messaging. It's like WhatsApp or GroupMe or whatever.
Yeah.
She says, well, sorry, I'm only 16. The guy says, no problem. Like he starts fishing for pictures and all this shit. So it turns out this guy was a 40-year-old cop. The fact that he's a cop is terrifying because this is a guy who's in a position of power. But anyways, Ethan is a 20-year-old and he entrapped this guy and put all this evidence together, was screenshotting everything, like on Snap. Like the cop was like, let's move to Snapchat because he didn't, he wanted all the messages to disappear and shit. But they ended up catching this guy. And even though this is a 20-year-old man who was doing this, it's all that matters is your intent in this situation. Like it's to catch a predator, right? There was no little girl waiting there for them, but the fact that the guy was willing to go be a fucking diddler, and he's going to jail for a long time is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So this is, first of all, you obviously have turned yourself into a girl, right?
Obviously. Everyone wants to see how they look like. You probably look ugly as shit.
Dude, I'm going to show you mine right now. You would totally do me.
Dude, you probably look so fucking ugly.
Fuck you, man. That's a terrible thing to say. That's so mean. How could you say that to me?
You just have you're just something about the space between your eyes or something. I don't know.
Dude, you would totally fuck me.
Dude, and I feel like you put like an extra filter on that to make you look more pretty.
How would I have done that?
I don't know.
It's like it's in the app that you can.
Hold on, you are glowing though.
I know, man. I'm really
rosy
pretty
like that
because I'm pretty, motherfucker. You're so mad.
Why do you have rosy cheeks? You actually do kind of have rosy cheeks.
You're kind of turned on right now, aren't you?
Damn.
Oh, this got weird,
dude.
Thank God Brick's here between us.
And for a fact that guy took his picture and that Snapchat filter and was like, "Wow, I can get away with this right now because I look fucking good as a girl."
100%. Not that this really matters. He's an Asian guy, so obviously, he was a young Asian girl in the app, which makes this whole thing just a little bit weirder for this 40-year-old cop going after a 16-year-old young Asian girl. It's got that fucking weeb feel to it.
Yeah,
weeaboo. This is some anime fantasy. God, people are disgusting. So that's my best man alive, not the cop, the guy that caught the cop.
What do you think this guy? What do you think Brooke looks like as a girl? On the filter.
Oof. Big head.
This
really dehydrated.
This right here, sitting right next to me.
Big eyes, apparently. Weak neck.
Weak neck.
This is so dumb. I don't know why we keep doing this.
What is going to be the next Snapchat filter?
Oh, boy. We already got old, right? You got the old and young versions.
Yeah.
Man, I think you're kind of running out of stuff. It would be probably considered racist to swap to different nationalities, right?
Yeah, changers.
Yeah. That would probably not go over very well.
I don't know, man. The whole gender one already hasn't gone over well with some people.
That's
obviously, because everyone's just butthurt about everything.
There's so much. I saw a story this morning. Nike made a shoe that very loosely resembles an iron, like a clothes iron, and it's a woman's shoe. So people are like, oh, you make the shoe to look like a fucking clothes iron and sell it to women. Do you really think that Nike, one of the biggest companies on the planet, it's like, hey, let's just take a shot at all the women out there.
Dude.
Intent matters in situations like this. I get so mad at the recreational outrage, which is just me getting mad at people who are getting mad for no fucking reason.
I know.
It's an endless circle, but it's very frustrating.
It's a bad hole to get into.
That's what she said. Let's talk Men in Black. I do have that drop. I just felt like that was more important.
That's what she said.
I felt like it was more important to get that out. And maybe I don't. I guess I didn't. Oh, there it is.
That's what she said.
It's always great when you have to wait to deliver a punchline.
Dude, get out of here, man.
All right.
Get out of here. Get your big paws out of here, dude.
Remy.
Dude.
Get out. You goober. You're going to grumble all of a sudden?
He's a grumbler, dude.
Let's talk about Men in Black, shall we?
All right.
25% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is brutal. 71% from fans. Popcorn flick debate rages on. What do we think here?
I don't think so.
You knew going into this was never going to be like an Oscar contender.
I guess it could be. I guess you could put it into the popcorn flick category.
It's a dumb movie about aliens with jokes and I don't know.
It literally makes no sense, the whole movie, in my opinion. Do any of the Men in Black movies make any sense? I mean, the first one did.
Did it, or was it just carried by Will Smith's charisma?
No, it was carried by the guy that's like, just on his lunch break. That guy. I'm
totally blanking on his name right now, and it's making me angry.
I don't know.
He was big fat Kingpin in.
Was he?
Daredevil. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It'll come to me. Yeah. That's like his most famous role, I think.
What did you want? You want sugar water?
The Egger suit. Yeah.
Sugar water.
That's what Brick needs right now. So this was directed by a guy named F. Gary Gray, who has done Fate of the Furious, one of the better ones.
Great movie.
Law Abiding Citizen, good
Great
revenge
movie.
flick.
Great movie.
The Italian Job, which was mediocre, but he's known.
Was that with Wahlberg?
Yeah, when they're driving the Mini Coopers.
I actually like that movie.
It's fine.
It was before Jason Bourne, so it's like, all right, if this is what we're gonna get, I guess it's what we're gonna get.
This was one of my ex-girlfriend's favorite movies. Do you ever like attach a weird period of your life to a movie or something where you're just like, I don't want to watch that ever again?
Like when we watched Splice in your room in college.
Yeah, 100%. Never want to
experience that again.
No.
Yeah, there are some movies like that, I guess.
I don't know. I'm doing a lot of weird flashbacks to my ex-girlfriends. Erica's probably not going to be happy about that. This is the fourth movie in the franchise. If you want to remember the third one with Josh Brolin, which very forgettable. Almost as forgettable as this one, but this is somehow more forgettable. Estimated budget of $110 million. Probably going to do about $40 million opening weekend. Not terrible. It's going to do just fine, whether or not it deserves to. You know, this got me thinking about the cartoon, the Men in Black cartoon. Did you ever watch that?
A little bit. I vaguely remember that cartoon.
I thought it was really good. And maybe it was just
Was that on Cartoon Network?
I don't think so. I think it was. So if Sony owns this property, it was probably on NBC. No, NBC didn't really have morning cartoons. It had to be like Fox or something.
What was Pokemon on? Like WGN, right? The U or something?
Yeah. You know what? That's probably what it was.
Okay.
I think WCIU. Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird. I don't know why I went to that. But so backstory on this. Tessa Thompson sees some aliens as a kid. Royally fucks her up, as I assumed that it would.
Mm-hmm.
She stumbles through the first act of this until Men in Black finally finds and accepts her. Or she finds them, I guess.
Instantly.
She's
instantly in the Men in Black.
Yeah. They totally skipped over the whole accepting part, which was one of the best sequences from the original movie where Will Smith's tracking down that alien.
Yeah.
And he's like the outlier. And I digress. Anyway, she meets Chris Hemsworth and Liam Neeson in London. There's probably an alien mole or something because Men in Black, lather, rinse, repeat. It's pretty much the same story in all these movies, isn't it?
Who was the mole in the first one? Nobody.
The mole came in the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the weird chick who was in leather, which is really weird for who's this movie aimed at? This is PG-13, right? Because they make weird
die-hard Men in Black fans.
They make weird sex references in pretty much all of these movies. Like in this one, there was that alien that was like gyrating at Tessa Thompson.
Or the part where Chris Hemsworth literally had sex with one of them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That happened.
They need an excuse to show Chris Hemsworth without a shirt on. Which, if I'm Chris Hemsworth and I'm that jacked, that's probably in my contract.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be shirtless in your movie.
He definitely slimmed down for the role. He's slimmed down a lot since Avengers.
It's a bad joke.
What?
You can't be serious. You're obviously making a joke about his fat suit.
No, I was actually talking about like him actually being Thor.
What are you talking about? He was absolutely shredded as Thor.
Dude, do you think he actually wasn't that big? So they're like, we're just going to make you fat now? Because
I doubt it, because they were probably shooting these kind of close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that he's never not jacked.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go into the jackness of this movie? Was it worth talking about? Than Chris
he's
Hemsworth?
Not as big as his peak Thor.
He's not. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because he's probably not running steroids. But
wow, shot across the bow.
Dude, they all are running stuff.
I would be too.
Characters.
I mean, wouldn't you? If your entire job was to be jacked, wouldn't you just take the easiest possible route to do that?
You have some of the best physical trainers, personal trainers, everything you need. I mean, and they know what you need to get into the physique that you should have for a certain role.
I'm going to sidetrack here because that's just what I'm doing today. I'm full of coffee.
Okay.
When you get older, would you take like testosterone replacement? Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. I don't see any reason.
And DMT? Maybe if it came with DMT.
Jamie, pull that shit up. I mean, I don't see any reason not to.
Yeah, if you have low testosterone, why not?
Well, even if you don't do I want this thing that makes me feel younger and stronger?
Yeah, but the problem is the more it's what basically this is with anything. If you're upping your testosterone and you need to continuously keep it at that level, or else you're actually going to drop it lower than probably what it was initially.
Okay, I'm not talking about cooking shit in your kitchen. All right, yeah. I'm talking about going to a doctor and getting a prescription.
No, I know. And you're saying why not just do it when you get older, just to feel better and stuff?
Why not?
I'm saying the problem is you're just going to have to, if you are doing that, you have to expect you're going to have to be doing that for the majority of your life, or else your testosterone levels will probably plummet. When
I look at a 70-year-old Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
for sure.
Yeah,
on a bunch of shit.
Doesn't look that bad. He looks pretty spry for an old dude.
Besides his like half of his face just being droopy.
He's always looked like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see weird segue.
Dude,
I'm just fucking all over the place, but
we can go to a doctor for you tomorrow if you need.
I'm not that old. I'm 32. I don't need it yet. I'm talking like when I get to be like 33.
Okay.
In 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't know why this made me think this. My eye's been twitching for 2 straight days.
It's because of coffee. Mine does that too.
Do you ever
2 straight days?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question for you. I thought of it the other day. Would you rather have hiccups for the rest of your life or an eye twitch for the rest of your life?
Eye twitch.
Yeah.
I can sleep through an eye twitch. I can't sleep through hiccups. Think about how terrible that would be. Like every time you start to fall asleep, a hiccup just wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I would kill myself.
Okay. No, this was what I would. Okay. Would you rather be blind in one eye, or would you rather have hiccups the rest of your life?
Blind in one eye.
Really?
Goodbye, depth perception. Yeah. Don't need you.
Hiccups for the rest of your life is honestly probably one of the worst forms of torture. If you could figure out how to make a person have hiccups.
Do you think that's, I mean,
that would be terrible.
Usually you only get the hiccups for like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that you could just get used to? You know how people have a tic sometimes?
No, you can never get used to it.
You don't think so?
There's absolutely no way.
It's pretty jarring.
It just disrupts everything about you living.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was sitting here, especially podcasting,
I would kick you off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already
fucked.
I'm already basically on the line of getting kicked off. But if I had hiccups, yeah,
I'm going to replace you with this guy.
It's done.
He's got hotter takes than you. Anyways, my eye's been twitching for 2 days, and I think I might be having a stroke.
Okay.
That's it. I don't know why.
We'll go to the doctor, get you some testosterone.
That'll fix my twitching eye?
Instantly.
Fair enough. What about the murder in this movie that we're not really talking about?
That was one thing I actually had a problem with. There wasn't a lot of exploding aliens in this one.
I feel like
there was a lot of goo. There wasn't.
So especially for F. Gary Gray, there were not a lot of really big action set pieces in this. The action was pretty minimal. Mm-hmm. I can think of a couple scenes that were kind of action, but most of it was small, especially for $110 million budget. I guess they just blew that paying Liam Neeson to do nothing.
And especially for having the Les twins. Do you know who those guys are?
No.
They're actually really,
I assume
they're professional dancers.
Yeah, I figured.
They're really popular. They've won a bunch of dance competitions, but
you think they do testosterone?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, they're pretty skinny.
I could tell they were definitely dancers.
Yeah, and they didn't really utilize them that much. I thought there was going to be a huge fight scene and like they would be like
they're breakdance fighting,
having a dance off with them.
Yeah,
but They were, I would say, one of the primary villains in this.
Yeah, probably.
Which was also weird because you think they're the main villain, and then at the end they just throw in another one, and it's like, what the fuck?
I think for this, we don't spoil it. Okay. I think we can do it without spoiling it.
Yeah, it has a big reveal at the end.
Yeah, but
which isn't even that great.
Yeah, I guess. But this is just kind of like a nothing movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is very charismatic because he's Chris Hemsworth. I just don't feel any kind of attachment to anybody in this.
Mm-hmm. I did like Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh man, I was just going to rag on him.
I like his voice a lot. I think he's a great, like, put him in any animation, and especially like a cute little guy, and it works. But yeah, I think there was a lot of the levity and a lot of the jokes just fell flat in general. And of course, a lot of the lightness in the whole movie came from his character.
Yeah.
And overall, I think it's mainly just the writing. You could have done a lot more with his cute ass character in this movie. But
see, that's the thing though, is usually when they do this, it's like the porgs in Star Wars, you know, the little cute things that you can just sell toys of. I think that's kind of what they were doing here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't care for it.
But imagine if it was just Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth the whole time without him there.
You know,
it would have been worse.
The Tessa Thompson thing, the way they wrote her character, just like as a Mary Sue who's good at everything always and always has the answer, there's no conflict there. You always know that she's going to get out of it. And it's a PG-13 Men in Black movie. Mm-hmm. You don't assume anybody major is going to die anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking that the originals were better than they really were, because you had Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith who riffed off each other so well. Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth have some chemistry from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It just wasn't really there for me, I guess. I don't know. The third act of this movie is so rushed. You just eventually... The third act is probably 20 minutes long, and you just wrap up everything in a neat little bow. And
I wasn't mad about it, though. I was like, oh, this movie was only an hour and 45 minutes or whatever.
I guess. But I don't know, everything in this just felt really shoehorned. Like, you can tell that Tessa Thompson her character is supposed to be attracted to Chris Hemsworth too.
Yeah, and nothing comes out of it. It's just like, okay. They just do like a weird gaze at each other as they're parting ways at the end.
They prefer to be called homosexuals, Mark, not gays.
What did I say? I said gays.
You said weird gays.
Gays.
You're talking about weird gays. It's Pride Month, dude.
God,
come on.
Come on.
Yeah, so any romance that would have been in there felt really forced. I'm struggling really to remember any distinct details about this movie.
Yeah.
It's just super forgettable.
I agree. I still liked it better than Dark Phoenix, though.
Yeah, that's really setting the bar low. There's some quote-unquote major twists that you mentioned that were telegraphed from a mile away. Mm-hmm. So even the story at the end of it it doesn't fucking matter. The comedy felt cheap. I don't really have much good to say about this. And all that said, it was fine. It's like a turn your brain off. Mm-hmm. If this shows up on FX in a couple of months, yeah, I won't change the channel.
I agree.
Did it make you want to buy a Lexus like the first movie made you want to buy Ray-Bans?
No.
It's a cool car.
You
don't care about cars.
I did like like that scene where she's like, I'm driving, and gets on the American side of the car.
It was in the trailer though, so
was it?
That. This was one of those where all of the good jokes are definitely in the trailers, which sucks.
Yeah. Like when Kumail's little character guy, what's his name?
I have no
Pawnee.
Yeah.
Pawnee. When Pawnee's pledging his allegiance to her or whatever, everyone was laughing. I'm like, dude, that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was probably one of the funnier parts.
Also, we watch more trailers than probably most people, so yeah. I get it. The only other thing I wanted to say is there was so some of the jokes they can recycle from the originals, like the whole "you'd be surprised by who's actually an alien." Mm-hmm. Like in the original, I think it was Dennis Rodman. Of course, Dennis Rodman would be a fucking alien.
Yeah.
And in this, they did Donald Glover.
They did
a couple other ones too.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And they did, I think there was like one.
There was one other one. I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yeah. Of course. He is an alien.
I do kind of like those little references, especially it's a good joke that you could just recycle. Mm-hmm. So good call. Do you want to rate this?
I'm going to say I'll say stream it.
I'm going to agree.
I'll say stream it.
Stream it. It's not worth going to the theater over, but also if you I think I'm ready to make a call on this. It's a popcorn flick. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah, that would have been bad if I would have done 3 straight weeks of skip it. This is This is not a good month for movies.
We were so pumped for everything that was coming out, though. We're like, especially after you go through February and you're struggling to find something you want to go see. Mm-hmm. And then you get to June, July, August, and it's blockbuster season. Now there's just, these movies are just coming up short. I don't know if we're spoiled or...
No, they're not great movies. I mean, we had Godzilla, Dark Phoenix, and then this. And
yeah, they were all pretty subpar.
Very subpar movies.
Unlike The Dead Don't Die, just kidding, that movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, talk about that movie a little bit.
You want a mini review?
Yeah.
All right, mini review. Yeah. So I was super excited to see this. This is Jim, I think it's pronounced Jarmusch. Mm-hmm. He directed and wrote this. We saw the trailer for this a few months ago. Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Chloe Sevigny, Selena Gomez, Danny Glover, Steve Buscemi, just like an all-star cast. And it's a zombie movie. It's like a small town deadpan comedy, except there's no comedy in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like none at all. It does this weird thing with Adam Driver where he breaks the fourth wall and he's self-referential. There's a song that's written by Sturgill Simpson that they keep playing throughout it. It's called The Dead Don't Die. And Adam Driver like puts it on the radio and he's like, oh, that's the theme song. So he's talking about what's happening in the movie. And there's another really bad one of those at the end. Yeah. Where he's like, yeah, I know what happens. I saw the script.
That's what you risk when you break the fourth wall is you break it terribly.
There's so many better ways to do that, though. And that was definitely not the way to do this. Yeah. It was awful. The comedy completely falls flat. The acting is fine. The direction, like the actual cinematography is kind of good. It's just, the first two acts are so boring. And you think that they're setting up for this major twist or some kind of big reveal. And there is one towards the end, but it's not explained at all. It has no payoff. It's just a character that you'll never hear from again that's now gone. Yeah. It's so terrible.
How are the zombie battles? I'm assuming they're more like just one-on-one fights with zombies. So
they are.
Is there a horde of zombie scenes where they're fighting them off? No?
There's one.
Okay.
Most of them are kind of just, there's little to no action. Man, there's so much of this that's just backstory of these characters that you end up not giving a shit about. They spend so much time saying like Steve Buscemi is this racist farmer who's in the town and everybody hates. Mm-hmm. No payoff. There's a guy in the forest who's like a hermit and he's watching and he's kind of doing this weird narration thing while he watches from a distance. They kind of shoehorn in this materialism is bad kind of, lesson. But even that is so ham-fisted that it just doesn't resonate. It's this movie. This is the worst movie I've seen this year.
Wow. We saw, is it worse than Anna and the Apocalypse?
Yes. By a lot.
Really? We saw that this year, right? Wasn't that January?
That was probably the end of last year.
Okay.
But either way, this movie is so bad. I cannot recommend anyone ever watch it ever. Mm-hmm. It had this weird... Did
it feel like a really low budget film?
Yeah, but you don't need a big budget to do this. Like Dawn of the Dead is probably a low budget film. You know, There's not a ton to spend on makeup or huge effects or anything like that. You just don't need to, especially today with technology you have. But
how was Bill Murray in it?
He's fine. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just fine. Everything like God, they didn't let anybody really, spread their wings and do big acting chops, considering that they had such an A-list cast. Yeah. Adam Driver is one of the best actors out there doing it right now.
Yep.
Chloe Sevigny, she was probably the best just because she showed actual emotion, whereas everybody else was totally deadpan through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I can't say enough bad things about this fucking movie.
That's a bummer. What's it called again?
The Dead Don't Die.
The Dead Don't Die.
Maybe it's because I've been waiting to see this for so long and I really was looking forward to it that I was just so disappointed and let down. But man, skip this fucking piece of shit.
Wow. Did it come out in theaters?
It came out yesterday. And that's
in theaters?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you just bought it and I thought it went right to streaming.
Nope. It is in theaters and I hope it fails miserably. That's me.
What did the theater look like?
It was a lot of people like me that probably like the horror genre, like Bill Murray, like the deadpan stuff.
Yep.
This is it's kind of an indie flick, which it has that vibe, but it also makes fun of hipsters and indie flicks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was people like around my age who probably like horror movies, like zombie movies, like deadpan comedy.
Yeah.
There were probably 10 people there. But it's low budget, so it doesn't have to... I don't know. Why are we still talking about this? What do you recommend, Mark? What did you do this week?
I played a lot of Apex. And obviously not going to recommend that because I think Brick did that for like a straight month.
6 months ago?
Yeah.
When we were telling you, hey, go download this free game so you can play it with us. It's really cool.
It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm not going to lie.
I wish you were better at it.
I suck at it. I sucked at PUBG. I suck at this. I'm actually not bad at Call of Duty. Like, you throw me in a Call of Duty game and I'll be fine because I like to run out. I don't make smart moves really and strategic moves. Okay. So I like take big chances and like run into the battle and just strafe and spray people.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not a good gamer, but it is
strategy
fun.
Cotton.
It is fun, but that's not my recommendation. I don't want to go on about that. My recommendation obviously is our Patreon. If you want to support us through Patreon. Shout out to our members, our supporters, by the way, through there. We have Vile Cash Gaming and Colin A, our tier 3 members. Thank you. We have our tier 2 members, Nicole T, Darian O, Lauren B, Kyle D, and Gabe W. Appreciate it, guys. And then our tier 1, we have Jared J, Matt M, Ben A, and Mike T. Of course, if you guys like the show, you want to help us make things better through streaming or whatever, it's awesome when you guys support us through Patreon. So
we need a laptop. Because my laptop is 12 years old and it's on its last leg, but we don't need one. It would be nice to have.
We don't need anything. We appreciate you guys as is. But
it'd be easier for us to go do stuff in public arenas.
Yes. Like we fucked up. We should have went to that Pokemon Go thing. God.
That's such a weird thing to me. And
that would have been funny.
You know that it's not kids. It's a bunch of middle-aged, overweight dudes.
Yeah. So for people listening, there was a huge Pokemon Go gathering at, I think, what was it, Grant Park or something?
TJ said it was more people there than Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Which is just obscene.
That's why it would have been outrageous to go to and film and get some footage.
I'm kind of glad we didn't. I bet it smells like a Comic-Con convention on a hot day.
Except you're outside and you're like, wait, how do I still smell these fucking people?
What is containing this stench?
Yeah.
It's
the trees. The trees aren't getting oxygen. They're just getting fucking BO and dying.
Okay. I recommend Barry on HBO with Bill Hader, Stephen Root, Henry Winkler. This show, I know everybody's been talking about it. It's not underrated. It just kind of, I just haven't gotten around to it until this week. I watched the whole first season and the start of season 2. The show's amazing. It's not a straight comedy. It has actual...
It's a dark comedy.
Feels. It is a dark comedy.
Dry humor.
But it also has like real world feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. And it does a really good job of exploring some dark sides of people, like veterans or your dark past and how you compare it to people who have maybe a darker past. It's really interesting. It's on HBO. I think the second season just wrapped up, so I definitely recommend that.
Nice. I tried getting into Barry with Kelly, and it's just not Kelly's thing. So I need to pick it back up by myself now.
Honestly, I think it's the same thing. I started with Erica, and I put it down, and I was just like, she doesn't really seem that into it.
Yeah.
Got to find something we both want to watch. I think that might be it. Like, it is dark, and if it's not, watch this by yourself. But anything else?
No, thanks for hanging out with us and our Arquillian. What is it? Arquillian friend?
Arquillian.
Arquillian.
Yeah. Brick, drink some water, dude.
Brick is now an Arquillian with a big ass head.
What happened to his traps? His traps just disappeared.
Dude.
So weird.
He's been doing that intermittent fasting, I guess.
Took it a little too far. All right. As always, you can find us on the social media platforms at the Chumpcast. You can call or text us at 847-920-6107. Until next time.
Chumps out, motherfucker.